Hey noobs, Mr. Frog here. The holidays have finally arrived, and with them comes the release of several highly anticipated games. For those who may have some time off during the long break, you may be looking for something to play. If you are unsure where to start looking, I have gone ahead and compiled a list of what I feel may be the best games to look out for throughout the month of December. Starting off with an honorable mention, as it is technically not a full game release, we have a major DLC update for Living with Sister Monochrome Fantasy. While I unfortunately have not gotten around to playing the original release yet, I have only heard good things about this game. It is an RPG with a very interesting premise where you must balance working as an adventurer while also taking care of your sick little sister. Living up fully to its monochrome name, the game also features a very unique black and white art style with fantastic illustration artwork. The new DLC update promises to provide additions to the main story and side events, along with new art and quality of life improvements to the game. There is not a current exact date of release for the update, as it is just listed as Q4 2024 on Steam, but hopefully we will receive a more definitive date soon. Next up, we have the highly anticipated release of Kaiju Princess 2. If you have not played the previous two games, I highly recommend checking them out, as they have been consistently some of my favorite games over the past few years. It is a very fun time management game series, where essentially you help take care of a giant kaiju monster girl. For the most part, they will appear in their human form for the majority of the game, which, depending on your preferences, I guess could be either a good or bad thing. Each game so far has featured its own unique world and characters, with this time around being set in space. You play as a chef on the run from the police after you have been framed for a crime that you did not commit. Thankfully though, you are saved by a beautiful pink-haired girl who offers to be your bodyguard in exchange for food. Thus begins an adventure to both prove your innocence and perfect your skills as a chef. The game is currently set for a December 12th release, and also currently has a demo available for play. You can fully experience the beginning portion of the game, which I have thoroughly enjoyed so far. I highly recommend checking this one out, as it may end up being not only one of the best releases in December, but possibly almost the entire year. If time management games are not really your speed, then how about a more gameplay-focused turn-based card battler instead? Half-Demon Shinobi promises just that, along with a feudal Japanese setting. In the game, you play as a merchant who comes across a ninja who has had all of their emotions stolen, with the ultimate goal of making her a vessel for reincarnating a demon king. You later discover that you carry an item that seems to further strengthen her ninja abilities as well. Thus, you begin to work together to cleanse the world of demons while also battling some inner demons of your own. Gameplay in the game is pretty similar to most other card battlers out there, where you must balance resources in order to play cards to both attack and defend on your turn. The more interesting thing about the gameplay is that instead of relying on the typical energy system, the game instead uses a color matching system where you must roll random colors of marbles to hopefully match the colors on your cards. You can save and re-roll certain marbles each turn to narrow it down further as well, which leads to an interesting and strategic combat system. The game currently has a tentative release date of December 17th, but until then, there is also a demo available to play one of the first story sections. If you enjoy card battlers at all, I definitely recommend keeping this one on your radar. Following after Half-Demon Shinobi, we have The Night Girl and The Dungeons. This one is a 3D action Souls-like game. Unfortunately, there is currently not a lot of information regarding this game available, but there is a demo available to play on Steam. Gameplay is very similar to most other Souls-like games, and centers around carefully avoiding enemy attacks and exploiting damage windows to take them down. I will be honest in saying that the game played a bit rough around the edges, and doesn't exactly have the most inspired visuals or art direction, but I do think it may have potential to be a decent Souls-like game. Unfortunately, there also seems to be a lack of interesting builds or customization, but it does have a lot of outfit options and plenty of scenes with the enemies around the dungeon to enjoy. The demo is a bit too short to get a full grasp on what the full game will have to offer on release, but I do think that this game may be worth at least keeping an eye on for future updates. There is currently not an exact date of release on Steam, with the game simply being listed as releasing in December 2024. Up next, we have another time management visual novel with Taiwan Love Story. Living up to its namesake, the game is a time management romance visual novel where you play as a college student who attended a camping event held by your college department. During this trip, you had the chance to meet with 5 women from different parts of Taiwan. This experience inspired you to come up with a college thesis centered around love and happiness. After returning home, you decided to keep in contact with those who you met at the event and begin your own true Taiwan love story. There's currently a demo available for play on Steam, and I've really enjoyed my time with this one. The art and animation work are fantastic and really helped bring the characters to life. The story is also lighthearted and cute, and definitely one of the more wholesome games featured here. I also really enjoyed the game's connection to Taiwanese culture, and the goal of featuring different cities in Taiwan. The game has a tentative release date of December 18th, and I am honestly really looking forward to this one. Last up, we have College Fantasy, an interesting adventure game where you play as a college student who receives an acceptance letter to a private college, along with a letter from your father who has been missing for 15 years. While attending college, you will not only uncover the secrets related to your father, but also forge deep relationships with the other people on campus. The visuals and UI for this game are rather unique and interesting, and almost resemble a mobile game, but I do think they have a unique charm to them. The game also offers a lot of freedom to explore the college and town, as well as engage in other activities such as fishing and mining. The main issue I had with the demo probably had to do with some of the text wrapping, making it occasionally difficult to read some of the scenes, but I did overall enjoy my time with this one, and I am looking forward to checking out the full release. The game unfortunately does not have a specific release date set, and is instead only listed as Q4 2024 on Steam though. And that about wraps it up for games to look out for in December. Please do keep in mind that these are mostly initial impressions based on demos and promotional materials. I have not played these games in full yet, so these are simply recommendations for games to have your eyes on for now, and are not necessarily full endorsements of their end quality. Changes to either the content within, or the release dates may happen as well, so the best way to stay up to date is to wishlist these games on Steam if you'd like to continue following them. Let me know which if any of these games you would also be interested in seeing a full review for on the channel once they're out down in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to see more H-Game content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Later, noobs.